Yeah. It's gonna be great. They're gonna find all the burritos in my stomach. Oh, I am in trouble, everybody. Well, you know what? Without further ado, I want to go ahead and get our GM ready for today. So our first GM, Iron GM Catlico. It is our friend Flannel Cat, Iron GM 2. Iron GM Wrath of Tubin. Please welcome on in our dear friend Dowolf. And finally, Iron GM Look. Every year I make some sort of stupid Robocop reference, but this year I'm not because I'm Batman. That is not the right picture. It's supposed to be Corndan. Oh my gosh. Corndan. Where are you, Corndan? There. That's not even the right picture either. Where's the Angry Bird Corndan? Corndan. Bam. See, I got it right. One of these times I got it right. Why is Corndan's picture off center, though? Oh, no, it's because of Dowolf. Dowolf's picture just sort of is too big. My apologies. I'm a little bit distracted, but I'm working on getting less distracted. So, for those who don't know, for Iron GM, they were presented with 3 different GMs that they could choose from. If they chose the same GM, that is who they ended up with. But if they did not, they ended up winding... they got the one that neither of them chose. There. How's that, huh? Well, our first player today... Time Stalker decided to go for our dear friend Flannel Cat, and our second player, Meta Knight 3000, opted for Dowolf, which means that Corndan, the angry Batman, is going to be bringing this match together.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have regrets.
Yeah. Hey, Batman. How you doing, Batman?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I feel so scatterbrained today. I'm not completely sure why. I'm excited.
You taking your meds?
Yeah, I didn't take my meds yesterday, but I did today. I swear. Corndan. Oh, Corndan.
So,
yeah, we've got a game that you need to give out.
I know, and they're gonna regret that. Because I tried to give out a game, an old Kuso favorite. Meta Knight had played it.
Did he play it in Kuso again?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
because I checked that before giving it out.
Ah. Okay. Well, you opted for another game that's been in Kuso6rande in some degree.
It has. It's been on Kuso6rande. How do you feel about anxiety?
I have pills for that.
Well, because this game I can best describe as Anxiety Simulator 2021.
Yeah.
And it's Yolanda for Amiga.
Look at her. She's hanging onto the cliff with one hand. She's like, yeah. And there's like a nuclear explosion behind her and a bird. That bird is so dead, by the way.
It's me.
It's you?
Yeah, it could be.
Why are you a bird? Oh, because of your picture. Yeah. There, I'm trying to remember all the Corndan lore that's happening here. Okay,
yeah,
the picture. Well, everybody, the players are going to have 1 hour to make as much progress as they can to get through this game. Whoever does will take the victory, and the loser will go to the loser's bracket where they just get to be for a little while, I guess. Until we find out, until we find out how they do. Well, I'm going to go ahead and work on capturing the game. I see Time Stalker is live, and Meta Knight, I got to go poke.
No, Meta Knight is live. And Time Stalker is doing audio.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Wasn't live right before wasn't live a minute ago. But Meta Knight is live now. Good, good, good. Time Stalker doing audio, and I will be doing my own form of audio. Yolanda! Yolanda, get back here! We need the plants need trimming, Yolanda. And she's like, Dad, I just want to go on an adventure and wear a bikini. Yolanda! Anyways.
Actually, we might want to try
Yeah.
Meta Knight's audio instead of Time Stalker's.
Is it that bad?
Occasionally I can hear something coming off his mic or something.
We can just poke Time Stalker, that'd be fine.
I've been poking Time Stalker about it. If you look at
yeah,
and
he
match
said,
it.
let me see about Nutty. Let me go ahead and get this
at least right now,
over here.
90's audio sounds clear.
I'm just checking. I want to get fully verified. Well, beautiful Princess Yolanda. My name is beautiful Princess Yolanda. Princess Yolanda, please trim the bushes. The hedge maze is getting really run over. Yolanda. Yep, you're right. I do hear the mic on his stream. You're completely correct.
Yeah.
Weird. Meta Knight,
I
I
know.
would really like if we could get a response from you in Discord. That would be cool.
You know what? Just go with it, because right now it's clean.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing, everybody. And yeah, this game, I love this game. This is anxiety and a half the video game.
I unironically love this game, but this game is real bad.
It is. Here's the deal.
Real bad.
I think it's real good for what it's trying to do, but what it's trying to do is real bad. But it's executed well.
I don't even think it's executed well.
Wow. Wow. Strong opinions from a strong bird.
I know, and I'll stand behind that. However, I will also agree that I really like this game. Right? Like, there's nothing really like solidly good about it. Right? It doesn't play well. The controls kind of suck. It's an anxiety simulator. It's super terrible hard. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've got Stockholm Syndrome because I keep going back to playing it.
It's really fun. By the way, we did have a question in chat how this is going to be scored, and it is scored based off of high score. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right, score attack. We're gonna have the scores duel to the death.
Because of all of this, there's no way we're going to be able to judge like progress in terms of screens and all of that. It's going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it will be.
We're just going to go by score.
Yolanda, Hercules forgot to trim the hedges. Could you please come out here? I've got my beautiful pair of mystical shears.
You know what? Just take Meta Knight's audio. Aside from that, we're ready to go. Let's just go.
Well, I mean, we kind of need him to confirm that he exists.
The worst that's going to happen is that we get some swearing on stream, and it won't be any worse than the last time we played Monster Camp.
I mean, we gave people fair warning when we played Monster Camp.
Okay, I'm just asking them if they are ready now.
I mean, I hope so.
I do appreciate, Kate has put it in chat too, right? The high score is Scott. The second highest score is Scott again.
Scott did so good. Faizu, it's good to have you here. Yeah, you're welcome to come and chill as much as you want and run away as much as you want too.
Yeah, I'm probably here to chill for a little bit and then run away for a little bit, but Corndan is giving out my trash, and it felt appropriate.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm waiting to... Welcome to my life. I'm just waiting. I am waiting for Meta Knight 3000 to say that they are ready to start this match. Okay, there we go. Well, everybody, I need all of your best crab slash
Crabs,
medieval
fire,
weapon
spiders,
stuff. Yeah.
Scantily clad women.
And spam those right now because we need them. As soon as I see movement in the game, I will start our timer. Best of luck to the players.
I too will happily take any scantily clad women. Also fire. Fire is good.
Okay, Time Stalker off to begin Meta Knight.
Excellent. There's our first death.
Well, okay. Both players
like
have
4
died.
seconds in.
I will do a little recapturing because Amiga is always the biggest pain in the crap to capture. Thank you, Amiga, for taking streamers into consideration.
I feel like we could have had a prediction on which one of them was going to be the first to game over. There we go.
And it's already happened.
First game over. So yeah, this game's sadistic, basically. This game is pretty much... I think I described this when we first gave it out as essentially a Kaizo game before Kaizo games were really a thing. Because it likes to troll you with fake platforms or platforms that will catch fire, and you don't have time to sit and look at the level. Because it will definitely kill the first platform that you stand on.
Oh yeah, for
within
sure.
about 3 seconds.
Well, hey, Meta Knight finally got one through one screen.
I love that you say finally, but look, that is
only been a
literally
minute.
1 minute into the match.
I loved the death for the game over on Meta Knight's side there. Just walking 2 steps forward and the ground just erupted into flames.
I mean, yeah, that's how it goes. It's Yolanda, everybody.
Yeah, this is Yolanda. It's
So, Cat's asking what is going on. Does it put you on random screens? And the answer is yes. It gives you one of the 12 labors of Hercules to go to, and if you complete the first screen on that, it gives you another one, and then another one. I don't know. There's 3 or 4, and I don't know because I've never completed.
There are, I think there are 4 screens per labor.
Yeah.
And yes, if you're playing on any difficulty other than easy, it gives you a random labor every time you die. If you're playing on easy, it will just give you the same one till you game over. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, if you're wondering, this is exactly what ancient Greece looked like. I'm pretty sure, at least from my recollection, you know. Looks like Time Stalker going after them apples, but them apples turned into a door. Can't collect apples when they're a door, eh? I'm just saying.
Yeah, we have a lot of loan words in English that we've stolen and modified, so that makes sense.
I'm so glad that there's not fall damage. That's like the one saving grace in this game. Otherwise, the jumping in this game is like absolutely unforgivable. And
like everything in this game is unforgivable, and yet I can't stop playing it.
It's so much fun, especially the intro music before.
This is legitimately a really fun game to play. It's not a good game, but it is just really, really entertaining to play.
It is. Well, you know, I guess saying whether or not it's a good game is always questionable. We here believe, though, that a lot of bad games can be fun games. Your game doesn't have to be good to be fun. And, you know, even mixed with a lot of the problems, this game is really addicting.
So, other comments in chat, Crazy Sunshine, there are no attacks in this game. Right? You just have to avoid everything.
It's pure platforming, sort of.
I'll tell you what, Ascorian, it does. You look at this, right, and you're not playing it, and you're just like, why would you do this, right? This is bad. But at the same token, like actually playing it, there's a lot of neat things kind of about it, like that I really enjoy. I kind of like the level design. I kind of like how rushed everything is.
Yeah. You weren't kidding when you said this was kind of anxiety attack simulator to some extent.
Yeah, it is.
But there's I love some of these cruel deaths, like a fireball starting right next to you. But no, there's a lot that I actually like about this. It's really, really Moorish, because you will die partway through a level and you will think, I know how to avoid that next time. I can get through that.
Yeah, honestly,
yeah, I mean the
oh, go ahead.
Cool thing is it telegraphs everything, right? Like, you know, I mean, so kind of everything here, right? It doesn't change. It's not random every time you come in, right? Once you know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the anxiety music. I love the anxiety starting music, and some of the levels, it's like it ends faster than some of the other levels, so the music only gives you a vague approximation of like what you're going to, or when all of the death is going to start happening. Like Meta Knight, right there, the fire appeared at the bottom before the music stopped. Well,
yep, so
the starting music just induces panic.
It's so good. So to answer other questions in chat, what actions give score? There's kind of like a base score for completing a level, and then there's a like secondary score for like how fast you do it.
This game is also all trial and error. Yeah, how... Well, goodbye, Yolanda. The music was just... like psycho level of music right there. This is all trial and error. You are going to die a million times trying to figure out how to play this game. Meta Knight through screen one of one of these labors.
That's the other joy of this, is that even had they watched this previously, it's not really going to help them much unless they watched it yesterday and memorized the levels.
Yeah, there's really no way to learn how to play this without playing it.
Let me put it this way: I've played this a bunch, and I'm pretty sure you could throw me into this match and I would still probably lose. There's maybe one screen that I can remember how to do.
I remember how to do most of the ones I've played, but that doesn't mean I could execute on that.
That too, these controls are kinda jank.
Just so everybody knows, by the way, Yolanda is a version of the Hercules game. It originally got released as Hercules, and then they reskinned it as Yolanda. Why? Give her a bikini. More people want to play as Yolanda than Hercules.
It's true.
It's true. Hercules is Yolanda backwards.
That's not how spelling works.
Maybe it is in Greek.
Oh no, now I actually kind of want to figure this out. I don't think it is, though. I'm gonna say it's not.
Hey, there we go. Time Stalker has a score and is on the board now. Which, honestly, 7 minutes in, that is completely fine. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of successes, but a lot more failures.
So many failures.
And all you need is one good run. All you need is like one good run with a handful of screens completed, and you can take the victory here. Like this game is amazing. There we go. Time Stalker clearing another screen and burning.
I wouldn't be surprised if Meta Knight's going to clear this screen. Yep. That's up to 37,000.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I think the highest score I ever got was like 70,000.
70?
Yeah.
Well,
70 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other really cruel part about this, especially it being a race is that they have no idea how their competitor is doing. And it's I can only imagine the amount of stress they are suffering trying to figure out and remember these levels while also in a race situation. Like, this game is stressful enough to play by yourself.
Yeah, it really is. By the way, the guy who developed this, he only developed 2 games, the other one being Tomb of Syrinx for the ZX Spectrum, which I've never heard of. That is completely...
That name sounds familiar. Assuming I'm not spelling it wrong.
Look, I've only played a couple of ZX Spectrum games, one of which was RoboCop.
That sort of counts, yeah.
I mean,
Syrinx. Oh my god. Okay, Tomb of Syrinx was also on the BBC Micro, which is where I think I remember it from, and
oh no,
the player sprites on that looks broken. Like, really broken. It's great. The BBC Micro player sprite for Tomb of Syrinx looks like he's limboing everywhere.
Okay.
It's like his pants take up 2/3 of the character.
Like he's leaning back and has this sword or gun sticking out, but it definitely could be a limbo stick or something else.
Yeah, he just looks like he's leaning back in a really uncomfortable manner, and his lower half is so much bigger than his top half. It's great. I love it.
It's beautiful.
It's like they drew the pants and then realized that they only had a tiny amount of space left, which they couldn't animate for the rest of the body. So good.
Yeah, the only person really who worked on a significant number of games was the person who did the cover art for this game. Specifically for Hercules. I don't know about Yolanda, but he also did cover art for Laser Malfunction, for 3D Desert Patrol, for Lunar Rescue, which actually seems very familiar, as well as Rescue, St. George and the Dragons. Like, there's a pretty decent number of games here that I do not know. But he did the artwork for that, so that's cool.
I don't know a couple of those names for sure.
How about Outcast?
I would say that Lunar Rescue sounds familiar, but then again, games with that name just kind of sound familiar to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
This was developed by Quantum Productions, which this is their only game, published by Alpha Omega Software.
Meta Knight trial and error the wrong direction.
Alpha Omega is not related to the movie, by the way, so don't worry.
I mean, let's be honest, with as many times as that game over, I wouldn't even worry about it at that point in time.
No, for sure.
Wow, I know almost none of the games that are listed on this company's history. It's amazing.
Really, really impressed with Time Stalker getting across those vines at the top of the screen, because the rope jumps are really difficult to do, weirdly enough. Just because of the janky jumping mechanics.
Well, it's very easy to just fall off of the rope, and I believe if you just keep holding jump while you jump for a rope, you automatically jump off it.
Yeah, yep. I think so.
That's why Time Stalker has died many times on this rope section here. There we go, Time Stalker onto Spider Hell. But they're not very agile spiders, you know, they just sort of chill there.
I mean, the nice thing with Spider Hell as a level is, as long as you kind of get a hang of the jumping and what's going on, Spider Hell's not hard until you fall in right at the end.
Oh my gosh!
This game's cool.
Oh, I am a big fan of this game.
I stand by my statement that this was effectively a Kaizo game before Kaizo games were really a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's... I'd almost say that because it is a single screen that you play each time, it's maybe a little bit closer to, like, Meat Boy. Yeah, that's right. She's the original Meat Boy. She's made of meat.
Why do you do this to yourself?
What did I do to myself? I don't know. That was completely innocent. Meat Boy is a game.
No, not you. Kat. Kat has just said in chat that she's speedrunning this. She's decided.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, my mic may have cut off at that point.
It absolutely did. I thought you were yelling at me for calling this like a Meat Boy game.
No. I mean, I could, but no. No, I'm just like I agree with Kat. It is fun. It's just also terrifying and frustrating.
I love this game, but it's so bad.
Yeah, I feel like it is perfect for this point in Kuso6rande as well. It is a beautiful brackets game because it is viciously hard, and it will absolutely test their abilities of both memory and horribly janky controls.
Yeah, this game is
so
extremely, extremely difficult. Honestly, I think one of the hardest platformers of the 80s. Possibly the hardest platformer of the 80s, let's be real here.
I've still never actually played Hercules. I should really do that at some point.
I mean,
you've played Yolanda, so you've played Hercules.
Technically, yeah.
To some extent, but who knows? Maybe it controls a bit better.
So we are 15 minutes into this, and Meta Knight has the current high score of 37,000 points, though Time Stalker is really starting to get a few of these screens. The important thing for this match, by the way, isn't becoming perfect at every screen. As long as you have a handful of screens that you can do relatively well, even though they're randomly chosen, you should be able to clear a few.
Yes. Like, you could theoretically get very, very lucky and get, like, the 4 screens that you know how to do in a row or something like that. But, considering how often you're getting a game over, everyone, it kind of evens out.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about having so many game overs, though, is that, you can just keep trying and trying. And if you're trying a screen that you haven't been able to get through before, it's okay, because you know that if you fail, it's probably just like 10 seconds lost.
Yeah.
And if you know the screen, you know about how long it takes, and you're like, yeah, I can do this.
And then you just need to execute it properly, which is also harder to do than it really should be.
Yeah, ropes are a challenge in this game. I would say that that's probably the worst thing about this game. Oh, I love the boulders on Meta Knight's screen, that they don't fall down. They just roll over the giant hole.
Yeah, the boulders are better at climbing ropes than Yolanda is, based on how awful the rope controls are in this game.
Whee! Okay.
That's another really sadistic murder where the second rope just vanishes as soon as you touch it and you fall to your death.
I love it, though.
Yeah, this game is just full of that crap. It's great.
Yeah, what's interesting to me as well is that even though, people who make Kaizo games these days usually have played plenty of other games, and a lot of them have worked on their own ROM hacks before and such, the developer for this game had never made any game before, so he was like, I don't know, he went all in on the difficulty here.
I mean, I will say I don't particularly like most Kaizo games. There are 1 or 2 that I've played and enjoyed, but for whatever reason, this works for me. Most of them just seem to be cruel for the sake of being cruel, but because this has such fast restarts, so many varied levels, it kind of works really, really well for me in that respect.
Yeah, and I'd pretty much agree with you that most Kaizo games I don't care for. And, I love watching good players play them because you can see just how difficult a lot of it is. But I don't really care to play them myself, I've got other ways to get angry. I've got plenty of ways to get angry.
Yeah, I do too, like putting window film on my windows today.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we've got that on.
Yeah, I get angry whenever I look at your chat.
Oh my gosh, do not mention Silver Sword, everybody. Yes, that is a game on my list of games that make me very... Actually, it doesn't even make me that angry. It's just the caterpillars murder me. That's the biggest thing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I've got other ways to get angry. I'll probably play some Action 52 tomorrow, since we only have 2 matches, by the way.
Promises.
I'm not promising. I said I'll probably. I refuse.
Probablys.
Remember, every promise that I make is as solid as the promise about Kid Cool, which I never made.
Oh, you definitely made it.
No, I don't think so.
I firmly believe that Kid Cool is still going to happen at some point. It just might not be for a few years.
It might not be this. It could be this decade. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm still hopeful it's going to happen, even if not necessarily anytime soon.
I actually think I will get back to it sometime. It's just I've got other projects I want to do, like Action 52, and you know, games, when it gets to the point where you're like, I'd rather just sit at home and be sad than play this game on stream, that's usually a sign that you need a break from it.
I mean, you could play it without streaming it too.
No.
Like you can practice the speedrun offline.
You say this.
I
You
do.
say things that you just don't understand, Faizu.
You say this as though I don't also have a lot of speedrun projects that I'm contractually obligated to do, which I've mostly done offline so far.
Well, I know which project you'll be working on for the next few months. Aha!
Yeah.
Because Faizu got Bart's House of Weirdness for DOS into GDQ.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but the submission committee made a terrible mistake, so that's happened.
Look, we've already established that they have no, taste because they accepted Homie, which means they're bound to accept every other dumb game we submit.
Honestly, I would probably put their except that one game that NPC played. Possibly the
Well,
worst
least...
game in existence. That's worse than Homie D Cloud.
I don't know that it is. I mean, I think they're both bad in very different ways.
Cybergenic Ranger, there we go. Uh-oh, Mike is in chat. He's probably just, like, thinking, here are the reasons why I made Faizu play it for GDQ. Vengeance.
He has at least confirmed that it wasn't a mistake, so that's good to know, I guess.
Yeah, that was the first thing I asked him, too, when I got accepted.
No, it's
and then I blamed Railcoon after that, even though Railcoon has no say over any of that.
Yeah, I need to get some new speed games, because I haven't done a quote-unquote real speed run in quite a while. I mean, look, I'm playing for Fastest Furs next week. Guess what? I'm playing Road Rash, which I will not complete. It's just a given. It is so absolutely unruly at the speeds that I'm playing. And then what? I'm for this speed running marathon, I'm playing AI Dungeon. That's a bonus game that people have to donate for in order for me to play it. And I'm like, it's not even a speed run.
I am all for that.
I love doing it for marathons, though. I think it's an absolute blast.
The weird thing is, I was gonna say that Bart's House of Weirdness is barely a speedrun, and then I remembered that there is actual tech in that run, amongst other things. So yeah, that does actually probably count as a speedrun at this point.
Yeah.
I do want to point out some things here. We'll see if the screen comes back up. There are a couple of screens here. And Tempestral just got to one where you basically have to queue up a jump, because some of those invisible platforms, you've literally got like one frame to jump as soon as you hit them.
Yep. Does this have input buffering, like if you push?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not Tempestral, it's Time Stalker. Wow, I can't believe you messed up somebody with the name Time.
I know, not like... Whatever.
Tempestrel, you made it to brackets. Congratulations.
Corndan, I've done that so much. And you know it. Like, when we have 3 people with the word time in their names, you're just going to confuse them with Tempestrel. That's...
I know.
That's how it works.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah. Honestly, though, considering that Tempo has to deal with time and Tempestrol sounds a little bit like Tempo Stroll.
And they roughly have the same number of syllables and the same cadence, and they both start with T. So, yeah, okay.
Big Honkenberger, you've got a very important question. This game progress is very difficult for us to actually track, but
so we're going by score.
The best, like, every time that they complete a level, they get a certain number of points. So score is absolutely the easiest way to tell who has made the most quote-unquote progress. And honestly...
Well,
oh, yeah?
Score is a very... I was just going to say, score is a very good indicator of skill to some extent. Also, kind of luck. But it shows both... you get score for completing a level, and you get score for completing a level quickly. So if they synced up and did the exact same levels somehow, then the one who did it fastest would still have the higher score. So yeah, it's a kind of a good tiebreaker.
It's definitely a really good showing of who has done the best during the match. Absolutely.
As noted, there is the possibility that someone is going to get levels they know how to do really in good succession, but considering the fact that they are game overing roughly once a minute,
way more than once a minute.
That's kind of going to even out.
Yeah, honestly, all you need is one good run, and considering how many resets you're going to have because of game overs, it's very possible to get the one good run that you need. When you have 100 runs, just need one. And I mean, Meta Knight is a lot more consistent, I'd say, at this point. Meta Knight has definitely figured out a few of these screens reliably. I love this one with the boar. It's like, oh, there's one rope to grab onto, and then you can't see anything else. You just have to make... I wouldn't even say it's a blind jump because it looks like you're jumping to your death, but then a platform appears. It's like, oh, perfect. Yeah, this game is all trial. Oh, yeah?
I was just going to say, that level is basically a microcosm of the game. It's just trial and error and death everywhere.
Yeah, I would normally say that trial and error is a bad choice for a video game, and I would probably still say it with this game. Because, you know, you shouldn't... In general, when you have a platformer, you want people to be able to survive if they can just figure out the basics for how each screen works. However, for this game, because of how fast you're able to get back into the levels, the trial and error actually seems kind of appropriate, you know?
Yeah, it's mostly nightmarish for the first 5 minutes when you play, and it just keeps throwing random levels at you, and you have no idea what to do, and you keep dying within 6 seconds.
Yeah, if you can get past the fever dream of the first 5 minutes, it starts becoming more playable.
Yeah, over the course of an hour, you do actually kind of learn some survival techniques for this game.
So I do kind of want to point out here that if we look at the high scores going on right now between these two, right, you can see that difference is really just how fast they're completing levels now.
Yes.
Now, honestly, you know, looking at other games that came out around the same time, this came out in 1986.
Well, Hercules did.
What's that?
Hercules did.
This came out in 1990.
Well, I mean, it's the same game.
Well, except yes and no. Right, it is the same game, but the Amiga version came out, right? The Amiga Yolanda came out in 1990.
Okay. Does it have any changes?
Better graphics and more annoying sounds.
Okay, so I'm going to compare it to games from 1986.
I have no idea. I haven't played the 1986 version, so I couldn't really tell you whether it's got any particular differences.
Okay, well, I mean, looking at that year, even for Nintendo, there was a huge range of exploration for games that came out that year. I mean, especially with platformers. Kid Icarus, one of the main games where you have vertical scrolling more than horizontal.
That's an unfair comparison. Platformers were way easier to do on Nintendo for the most part than they were on
no, I'm
home
just saying
computers.
that was a year of plenty of exploration when it came to platformers. You had Kid Icarus, you had Metroid, Adventure Island, you know, just all of these games that were very much branching out from the typical Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bobble is the best game ever made.
It's pretty amazing.
I don't know if it's the best.
Castlevania came out that year, and all of these had very different styles. So it's honestly, it's exciting that there were so many companies, including this company, that worked on the original Hercules, just branching out and trying something that had never been tried before. Platformers finally became something that could fairly reliably be done. And before 1985-86, most of them really sucked.
That era was really, really good for gaming in general, because that was kind of the era of the bedroom coder, where you could actually just sit there with your ZX Spectrum or Commodore 64, and you could write a game by yourself quite reliably, and then send it off to a publisher, which is why we got so many really weird and interesting things on the C64, the ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC.
Yeah, I love it. Wait, Big Honkenberger, you're saying I'm hating on Jumpman? Who's Jumpman?
Jumpman is also a game.
I don't see Jumpman on this list. Okay, so Mario Lost Levels came out in 86, so I guess we could throw that into the lump.
I mean, yeah, Jumpman is great. That's also 3 years before this, though. I think Bro's just looking at 1986 games.
I'm looking exclusively at 1986, okay, and just saying there was a lot of variety in platformers that year. Yolanda being included in there, it's just that Yolanda didn't end up being a formula that people wanted to repeat.
All right, so Time Stalker's on one of my very favorite levels because it's so great. So to complete the level you're on, you literally just walk off to the right and fall off, and then you're at the door.
Wow. I mean, knowledge. Hercules had to learn a lot, right? Oh, you gotta buffer the jump before landing on that platform. Yep. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, Big Honkenberger, I am kind of dunking on Jumpman a little bit. Let me go ahead and explain why. Honestly, the physics... There's a reason the physics didn't get copied too much. They were a little bit awkward. It's still a good game, okay? Mario 1, I would say, is a good game. Absolutely revolutionized the platformer. And I think that it's the reason why a few years later, you know, people were branching out so much, because they had a formula that worked, but they wanted to give their own twist on what you can do with the platformer. And but I don't know, the momentum in Mario Bros has never felt quite right for me, you know? But
and then everyone goes silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like really, Mario 3 is really the Mario game from that era that got momentum right. I would say Mario Brothers 2 as well, but only the US version Mario Brothers 2, not Lost Levels. That doesn't count. And trust me, Kid Cool did not get it right. I mean, there are so many examples of absolutely unplayable physics from the NES era. But, you know, that's a time where people were experimenting and trying, and where, you know, it wasn't just widely available copy-paste, this is how physics are done. this is how platforming is done. And I can appreciate games that were trying to figure out exactly what felt right. Yeah. Awkward silence there.
Well,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna let you wallow in your own opinions.
Wallow, you mean the correct opinions?
I was washing my hands.
Of this argument, or just in general?
I mean, I was literally washing my hands. I was also metaphorically washing my hands.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I love it when you can combine those two things.
It's really good.
Yeah. I have a lot of opinions, and I'm not afraid to talk about them, and I am more than willing to admit that some of my opinions are objectively wrong.
Yes, they are. I'm not going to argue this one because I kind of got sidetracked, so I didn't hear the full thing, and I don't really want you to go over it again. I heard the thrust of it, but not your specific reasoning. So we'll discuss this another time. Or
as soon as people get me talking about platformers again, because I'll still say that old school Mario Bros. 1983 absolutely revolutionary. Still didn't have perfect physics. There. That's the gist. That's the gist of it. Still better than Kid Cool. Still a lot better than Kid Cool. It's just that I'd rather.
Well, maybe if you would complete Kid Cool in under 30 minutes, you'd have a better appreciation for Kid Cool.
One day, it'll happen.
See, I was saying one day.
Yeah, Unregistered Hypercam 2, you are absolutely right that we're better at making platformer physics today, and that's partly because, they've become very standardized. There's less.
They are extremely standardized. We also have quite a lot of stock engines and a lot of things to play around with, and we've also got several decades more experience of playing and making platformers.
Oh, yeah.
Which helped a bit.
Yeah, we've got a lot of history. Like, come on, people had problems even just making joysticks and controllers for people to use. The NES controller, revolutionary. Absolutely revolutionary in the gaming industry.
Is it though?
Have you seen the freaking, what is it, the ColecoVision with the numpad on it? How the crap is that a controller?
Yes, I have seen all of that. Like, I grew up with that.
Have you seen the Nintendo 64 controller? How is that a controller?
And yet it was somehow, actually good.
Was it, though?
It was an abomination of nature, but yeah, it felt good. It was more...
Did it feel good?
I thought it did.
Really don't
Do you
like
have
the
tiny
N64
hands?
Controller.
No, I actually have ridiculously long fingers.
Because it sounds like you have Donald Trump hands.
Oh my gosh, I play the piano. I can stretch 2 notes past an octave, okay? I've got big hands. I've got long fingers. Yeah, KM is absolutely correct that it depends on the game. Honestly, once Dual Stick came out, 3D games were reasonable. But, it was at least experimenting with the formula. The trigger was one of the first console controllers that had a trigger button. I do know that PC had some of those before, and Nintendo was the first one to bring it to the consoles. That was fantastic. The D-pad kind of got wasted on the N64 controller, except for Dr. Mario 64, where it was absolutely perfect.
I have never played Dr. Mario 64. I couldn't comment.
You use the D-pad. That is like the one game where the D-pad actually was used.
So you mean it's the one time when you actually use a different grip on the N64 controller?
Yes, exactly. Like, the thing is, it had a lot of good ideas that just nobody used. And honestly, it's understandable because most of them were making 3D games. They didn't want to make 2D, you know. N64, it was all about the 3D.
To be fair, I will say that that's actually a common theme with Nintendo in that they keep doing things which seem like they might be a good idea if people actually do things with them. Like, you know, the Wii U had some novel ideas, but nobody bought it. The DS and 3DS, it kind of took people a little while to stop using things as gimmicky and actually do decent stuff with it. But yeah, it's
to be fair,
it's
it
kind
took
of the same thing.
Nintendo.
It's just that I don't think the N64 controller is one of those interesting gimmicks. I think it's just a terribly designed controller.
Interesting.
So I expect we're gonna see here. I think we're gonna see a new high score out of Time Stalker soon.
Yeah, chat is right that it was the first analog stick. I mean, even before that, when you had joysticks, it was basically just on and off. You didn't have degrees of tilt.
Well, maybe on like the Nintendo.
Correct.
I don't know. I had a lot of degrees of tilt when I was playing some joystick games on the Atari ST.
I was gonna say pinball had a lot of tilt going on there. Anyways, yeah.
Well, you were right. We do have a new high score from Time Stalker.
Very nice, Time Stalker. That was a good push.
Another 10,000 points. That's the thing. Even now, like I feel like Meta Knight is doing better and has a better grasp of things, but I don't feel this race is in any way over.
Yeah,
Nope.
at all. I know that we're not really talking about the game because it's very difficult to like talk about upcoming challenges because every single restart, we don't know where they're going. And then we don't know how long they're going to be there. Like Meta Knight got to a new screen and died within 0.5 seconds because there was a spider.
To be fair, I would probably also die in 0.5 seconds if there was a spider near me and there was a bit.
I love it. Oh, Faizu, it's completely fine that you are deathly afraid of spiders. I think that that's a very understandable thing to be deathly afraid of. But
Look, I've been trying to trace back the reasons for my arachnophobia because a lot of times there are reasons why you have these phobias, and I can think of two events that probably cause these. One of them I won't go into.
Didn't you live in Australia, right? Isn't that enough?
yeah, that's
well,
enough.
I was going to say, that's the thing. The first 4 years of my life were spent in Australia where I was told to stay away from spiders because, like, redbacks are tiny, tiny spiders and they will murder children.
That reminds me of a
I was always
song.
told, if you see a spider, run away, go and find an adult.
There was a
that
redback
probably-
on the toilet seat when I was there last night. I couldn't see him in the dark, but boy, I felt his bite. Yeah, it's a classic.
Anyway,
Don't ask
Yeah,
me why I
that's-
know a song about redback spiders. I just do.
I feel like that's probably one of the reasons for my phobia. There is another slightly more traumatic reason, but again, we're not. This isn't a therapy session. We're not delving into my
Not
phobia.
today.
Did you
This is
get-
Yolanda.
So it might as well be a therapy session.
This is if this is Yolanda, this is the opposite of a therapy session. This is just anxiety inducing.
Not
I
for
mean,
me.
I may have called this Anxiety Simulator 2021.
I feel like this came out in '86, the Hercules one at least.
I mean, I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I just because of how much it's been mentioned, I am going to have to play Hercules now, just to see how much it differs, to see whether the controls or the game are any better, worse, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm very curious because if it's basically the same, I have
Then
to ask why they did a
we can give out
re-release.
Hercules. We can give out Hercules in the next round, and it's a different game.
My gosh. I just have to wonder, why this company would decide to re-release something that's fundamentally unchanged.
Probably because it was cheap.
Ask Nintendo.
Nintendo didn't port it. Oh, okay, yeah. Nintendo, you better not emulate, but we're going to go ahead and use the ROMs that are available on the internet for our releases. I mean, I actually think that is acceptable for them to do. I mean, it's their game. If their code is available online, then sure, go ahead and release it officially.
But I'm just saying, right? Why would you essentially release an unchanged game that has better graphics and sounds? Right? How many versions of Skyrim have we gotten?
Nintendo did not make Skyrim. Just gonna say we've been over this, but we haven't. Nintendo did not make Skyrim.
Yeah, let's just clarify that one point here briefly.
Wow, Tempestroll, you have a lot of opinions that the original Skyrim was too much. I like Skyrim. I feel like...
I don't.
I
What?
mostly don't.
What?
It just felt so empty.
What?
Look, so here's my problem with the Elder Scrolls games, right? I've tried playing Morrowind, I've tried playing Oblivion, I've tried playing Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
I tried, and I tried putting in like legitimate time into it, so this isn't I played for 5 minutes and went, this sucks, I'm not playing it, right? I played Skyrim for an hour and a half and had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I mean, there's a big dragon, sure, right? But I don't know what the plot of the game is. I didn't know the plot of the game after I had played for that long. Right? Oblivion, it was 3 hours and I still had no idea what I was supposed to be doing because all of the quests that are going on, right, don't tell you anything. Right? And Morrowind, man, I really tried that one too, and it was just like, nope, I can't do this. Right? And I could argue, okay, well, the difference is like Fallout, right? Like, but at least Fallout, you know what you're supposed to be doing, like, right away. Like, they tell you, like, right up, here's the main quest. Like, you don't have to go do it, but it's there.
Yeah.
Oblivion kind of does that.
I mean... Skyrim had an intro. You're prison you're a prisoner,
right.
And they try to chop off your head, and a dragon frees you.
Right. Now what?
Well,
right. Is that coincidental, or is that
live
plot?
your life? Go live your life.
Oh, that's you. Maybe find that out later.
I don't know, because
it's like
I couldn't.
The Sims. Okay, Skyrim is just The Sims for like
all right, so
where's the Sims? Okay.
Where's the swimming pool I can drop people in to kill them?
Bro, no, that was the Sims Medieval. That was the Sims Medieval, a game a lot of people have forgotten about. And while we're talking about Sims games that people have forgotten about, I'd like to remind everyone that The Sims Online was a thing that existed, and it was terrible.
I actually don't think I've checked that out. I've got The Sims 4. It's okay.
The Sims Medieval was it a Sims 2 spin-off?
Probably. That sounds about right.
It was kind of interesting, but no, The Sims Online was an abomination. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I should play Sims 4 sometime on stream and just like have a Kuso house full of Kuso people and
I have been meaning to do that on my own stream for a while, to play The Sims 4 and just create anyone who wants to be created. Like, that would be more difficult for you because you've got hundreds of people who watch you. But in my case, I can probably work in 5 or 6 people into a house and then let havoc commence.
So what you're saying is your house is going to be all Nancy Drew, and you're just going to murder Nancy Drew and call it good news.
Nancy Drew would have to be a different house.
The Nancy Drew house, oh baby.
Oh,
hey, we actually completed a full labor.
I've just,
oh my gosh.
God,
72,000 points for Meta Knight. That is a huge push. This could potentially be the highest score that we see today. Honestly, Corndan, You said that your high score was somewhere around 70,000.
About that, yeah.
82,000.
I definitely didn't get to 80-something thousand, so this is higher than what I got.
That's
but I also
nice.
never completed a labor either. I just got good at some of these early ones.
That's really surprising that somebody has beaten a full labor. Like, but at the same time, we're in brackets. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. The players here are really good. And Meta Knight has always done well in the past. It's good to see. Freaking 90,000 points. Okay. I was going to mention that in my original playthrough of The Sims, the house that I created was Bill and Hillary Clinton, and Bill died and turned into a zombie, and it was pretty great because he'd go around and like slap people in his household, any of the visitors, and he was perfectly happy with it. He'd just like physically and verbally abuse everybody, and because he was a zombie, he didn't care if they didn't like it. He's like, yeah, this is fine. I didn't have Socks the cat, but I did have Chelsea Clinton, who basically was Socks the cat, I guess.
I have this has made me realize that because I actually have the pets expansion for The Sims 4, I don't know if it's got parrots in it, but I could add Lulu and we could murder Lulu. So give Nancy Drew a pet to kill.
Oh, nice.
It's okay, bro. I don't expect you to understand what that means, but some people will. Some people will know the joy of Lulu. I'll just send you a clip at some point.
Please do. I always want to watch your streams, and then I see them on, and I'm like, but if I have a weird issue with watching streams. Like, I always want to watch, but then after about 5 seconds of watching, I'm like, I'm distracted by something else. This is ADHD, I mean, in fairness, the life.
No, in fairness, when I'm watching a stream, I'm usually doing something else at the same time. Like, I've got a stream up on one window, and then I'm often playing a roguelike or something on the other screen.
Yeah.
I have been doing that lately and playing Zadette, which has been difficult because my son wants to help me play Zadette.
Are you a true gamer yet?
No, I'm not.
No.
I am a butterfly, though.
That's something. You're making good progress.
Oh, yeah.
Is that good progress?
That is pretty good progress in Zadette, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and keep having whatever discussion you would like, because I am going to work on getting the next match set up and captured in it. Well, not captured yet, obviously. But, yeah, so if I go quiet, it's because I'm doing work.
Well, I'm going to say that I don't think we're going to see higher than 90,000 from Meta Knight.
No.
However, I do think that Time Stalker does still have a chance in the last 9 minutes to catch up. I think it's a really slim chance, but it exists.
I mean, it's just one good run.
Yeah. But it has to be one good run that is pretty much twice as good as the previous one. We're going to need a labor completed or like 8 levels finished in a row.
Yep. But, I mean, I think it's a good start here because this red labor here, I think it's pretty easy, at least for the first couple levels.
Yeah.
Right, like, I think I could do, like, 3 of these levels.
Yeah, I think that it's a good point booster to begin with. I mean, I thought it was a giant bot, but then I was thinking that actually maybe it's...
Wait, did you say giant butts?
We've got a quote for this.
You said giant butt, so I had to weigh in.
There we go. I think that's the correct quote.
Oh no! Oh no! That it wasn't a butt? Oh no. Well, okay.
I mean,
it wasn't a beanbag either.
The Tanuki isn't sitting on a beanbag. I'm just saying it might be a giant butt. It might not be. There are possibilities.
Well, okay. Well, we are getting close to the end of this match. while Meta Knight has the high score, there is still plenty of time for Time Stalker to have a comeback run. And considering the Time Stalker is just about, oh, that was really close to beating the high score. It does not take very long to get through each of these screens. Yeah, so there is very much a real possibility that Time Stalker could take the victory if he gets through some of these screens. There we go, on to the hay labor. Hey, gotta clean the whatever horse homes, stables.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I get Hercules labors confused. I know.
I keep wondering why he's trying to have a kid.
It's like, yeah, that's cleaning the stables of the Nemean lightweight now.
And after going through labor like 5 times, why does Hercules keep wanting to go through labor?
It's laborious,
some people,
isn't it?
Some people just like having a lot of kids.
Yeah, I know. Utah is very much like that. Utah has so many kids.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of them have birthdays in like August and September because it's cold right about this time of year and not a lot to do.
I mean, I was born in October.
You're proving my point.
Except no, that would be 9 months too early, Cornden.
Would it?
Yeah.
No, because it would mean that
you said this time of year there's nothing to do.
Right, and so the same goes with January.
Well, okay, I see what you're getting at.
I am trying to work out what that is. Like, that kind of looks like a bot, but I don't know what the rest of it is.
You mean the apples?
Yeah, it's apples. It's the
golden apples, not the golden butt, okay? Although
that took me way too long to figure out what that was. Again, considering I know the labors of Hercules vaguely.
Well, how do you like them apples?
That's it. I'm leaving.
Well, oh my gosh. Okay. What was I gonna do? Do work. I'm doing work. Don't you dare leave yet, Faizu.
Dude.
What?
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 Everybody, this is what commentary has devolved into. Okay, this is...
I mean, this is what commentary always was.
Pretty much.
Brosench has given up.
Yeah.
In fairness, this is what we try to get Brosench's commentary to turn into.
Basically. Okay, no, it's okay. I'm just doing my work and doing my job of getting everything set up for the next game. And you're just making fun of me because Yolanda's going on the screen, and oh boy, we're so close to the end of this. I don't know if Time Stalker can get another high score, but Meta Knight might.
You can. Oh, absolutely, you can. Right. I mean, these levels only take like a minute apiece.
Sorry, I was briefly distracted by watching a clip of Lulu die.
Faizu! That is probably rude, and I don't know for sure.
Be rude. I'm really curious about how you managed to innuendo that one.
I mean, you're talking about something dying.
I mean,
that's a little rude, right? I have to imagine it's rude.
Oh, rude.
Wow. Look at what we've become, everybody.
Okay, we're near the end of this match. Then you only have more matches to do afterwards.
I know, right?
Yeah, your reward for getting through this is more of this.
I would completely be okay with more Yolanda. Yolanda is so much fun, even if it's not good.
Yolanda is legitimately fun. Wow, 110,000 points.
That is such a good score.
Yeah,
like there's no shame.
We're now at the point. There's no way around.
No shame losing to a score like this. Seriously.
No, not at all. Like 56,000 is a legitimately good score for this game. Blind over the course of an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
It's so good. So good. Well, there we go. Meta Knight wrapping up that run. Time Stalker with 45 seconds left. That is not gonna be enough time.
Nope,
Alas.
not one bit.
The time was indeed stalked.
Wow.
You could say that
This music is
time
so
crept
good.
up on him.
You could say that somebody threw a clock at his face. Yeah.
No, I don't think we can say that.
Well, you know, if he's at the next GDQ that happens in person, I'll make something happen. Mike, don't listen to this, okay? Do not preemptively ban me because I'm saying I'm going to throw a clock at somebody, okay? Whatever, that's time.
I'm clipping that. I'm sending it to Mike Uyama right now.
No,
Yep.
Mike is in chat. Don't ban me. It's a joke. It's like Super Highlight. You know what Super Highlight is. It's a joke.
Wow,
Well-
you think you can get out just by appealing to Super Highlight?
Well, hopefully he doesn't clock me. That is indeed time. We'll go ahead and welcome the players to join General Voice if you want. I want both of them if they wish to talk about their experience. There's Time Stalker here. Hello, Time Stalker.
Hello.
Hey.
So that game give you anxiety?
Oh, on a couple of screens, yeah. Really like it, though.
I know, right? It's like this game should not be as enjoyable as it is. Just like Faizu and Corndan said that this essentially is one of the first Kaizo games. I almost said like kazoo games, but it's not a kazoo game. It's a Kaizo-esque game. Originally came out in 96 as Hercules. This one came out in 1990. And, you know, by all accounts, it should not be something as enjoyable as it is. And yet it is.
How badly did I get crushed?
Pretty badly.
Yeah, I
about
figured.
double the score.
Oh.
Like, there is no shame losing to a score that good.
I will point out, you did incredibly well. Your score was good. It was just that Nighty's score was ridiculous, frankly.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable how Meta Knight did. Seriously, I don't know if I would have been able to get to your score in an hour, Time Stalker, and I've played this a little bit. You probably would have still crushed me.
Well, I think my main problem was the ropes having Mario 2 rope physics where you just let go sometimes.
So there were a couple of times you probably could have done a little better too because you can buffer jumps.
I don't know how to do that, apparently.
You can literally just hold down the jump button as you're falling, and that first frame you hit a platform, you'll jump. So there's a couple of stages where you actually have to do that because you only get like
I'm assuming
one
the first
frame.
labor is one of those.
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, so.
Yeah, it's really... It's something that didn't happen too much outside of... Or once NES hit, you know, there are a few games where you can do jump buffering, but mostly they worked it out so that, you know, if you landed and were already holding jump, too bad, you're just on the ground. I mean, I can think of Linus Spacehead doing that, but that was not exactly the highest quality video game out on the NES. But yeah, it was a little bit more standard back in Amiga and Commodore 64 games that if you're in the air and you hold jump, you may be able to just pull off a frame perfect jump every time.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, lessons we learn as games go on. So, overall, what made this game enjoyable for you? Since you said you had fun, I need to know.
I like the puzzle-solving aspect of games.
Okay.
Like, that's the same thing with my last round that we had the Dragon's Lair ColecoVision. I like the puzzle-solving aspects of games. So this one was a puzzle-solving platformer, and I like it.
It definitely was, yeah. I wouldn't have thought of it that way, but it definitely has those puzzle aspects, and you're going to die over and over again. I think the biggest problem with games that just kill you repeatedly is that it sometimes takes a very long time to get back into it, and it just feels like you are never making any progress. In this, you're just back into a level right after. You're back to a different experience. Like the rapid fire levels here have a lot of charm to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So times. Oh yeah.
I did love getting the same labor 3 times in a row on one thing. Clearing the first part, dying to the second part, and getting the first part back again.
I mean, if it leads you to a high score, why not? You know? That sounds fine to me. So, Time Stalker, yeah, congratulations again on your playthrough. It wasn't enough to take the victory here, but you are still in the tournament. You'll be heading to the losers bracket with all of the cool people.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the cool people get to the losers bracket. Yeah.
Well, soon I won't be in the losers bracket either. So.
Oh no! You know what? Making it to the bracket is still very impressive, and it's the bracket for people who didn't win. I kind of like that, Kyron.
That feels like unnecessary extra words. Deal with it.
You know who else is unnecessarily extra? Faizu.
I can see myself out.
I was gonna say the bird that you were talking about, the Nancy Drew bird, Lulu.
Oh. I mean, that's why I kept murdering her, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Time Stalker, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to come and play. Best of luck on your next match. You never really know how things are gonna go. I always, like, when I'm in a tournament, I always feel like I'm gonna lose, and any win is like a happy little surprise. So who knows? Maybe you'll have a few of those.
Yeah, I did during the group stages. So.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Best of luck in the future. Did you have something to say, Corndan?
Nope.
Sweet. Well, we will catch you all later then. Thank you and take care.
Later.
Bye. Yeah, Corndan, Faizu. I think that we have an interesting situation coming up in that one of our players is AWOL. We didn't give them any walls. Where's their walls?
I know.
Yeah. And because of that, you know, I want to give maybe just a couple minutes, but depending on what happens, we may have to have a zombie step in for one of our players, because
why am I filled with a sense of dread?
I mean,
I've seen the game that's coming up.
I did say that you're going to be the zombie, but you don't have to be if you don't want to be, Faizu. What is this music? Oh, okay, this is good music. Well, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and run to an ad real quick because I do a little bit of setup. So everybody get excited for the next match. Hopefully our other player shows up at the nick of time. And otherwise, see y'all in about 1 minute for our first losers bracket match. Oh, what, Faizu?
I could do this. I was planning on, you know, getting food and eating and stuff. But
honestly, you know, if you need food, that's probably a more important thing to get.
Yeah.
But you could also just get a snack. Or not, I don't know.
I'm very nearly out of snack foods. I was going to go and pick up more today, but it's been kind of massive winds and stuff. It's not great.
There's been a lot of wind there.
Basically that, yeah.
That's scary.
You're scary. See, that's scary.
Yeah.
Right, well, one way or another, I'll be back in a moment. I think maybe I've got the thing downloaded in case I need to. I haven't actually read any of match chat, so this could be terrible.
Well, everybody, welcome on back to Kuso6rande, the bad video game tournament. We are on to the losers bracket round 1, and